Woodworking gets easier when you have the right tools, and Amazon is full of clever workshop upgrades. In this video, we're counting down 55 coolest woodworking tools on Amazon, from precision measuring tools and cutting guides to sanding gadgets, clamps, jigs, drill accessories, and smart tools that help you work faster and cleaner. Some are budget-friendly, while others are serious upgrades for better accuracy and smoother projects. Watch until the middle, because one small tool might completely change your workflow. Number 1. WORKPRO Electric Jigsaw. Struggling to cut smooth curves and intricate shapes with a clumsy handsaw that splinters edges and wanders off your line? This jigsaw fixes that. Variable speed and a sturdy blade glide through curves, scrolls, and angles in wood and metal, giving you clean, controlled cuts every single time. DIYers love how it handles shelves, signs, and custom shapes effortlessly, turning tricky cutting jobs into smooth, satisfying, genuinely fun shop work. Powerful and versatile, this jigsaw earns daily use, but drilling perfectly straight, accurate holes really calls for a dependable drill guide next. Number 2. Milescraft DrillMate Guide. Tired of drilling crooked angled holes that ruin joints and leave projects looking sloppy no matter how careful you are? This guide helps. A portable drill stand steadies your bit perfectly vertical or at set angles, delivering precise, repeatable holes without the wobble freehand drilling always brings. Woodworkers love the accuracy it adds to any handheld drill, nailing clean dowel and pilot holes that line up flawlessly every single time. Compact and clever, this guide upgrades your drilling, yet boring large, flat-bottomed holes cleanly really needs a quality Forstner bit set. Number 3. HPHOPE Forstner Bit Set. Frustrated by ragged, blown-out holes when you bore wide, flat recesses for hinges and dowels with ordinary spade bits? This Forstner set fixes that. Sharp cutting edges bore smooth, flat-bottomed holes precisely, handling overlapping cuts and angled entries that leave your joinery and hardware mortises looking genuinely professional. Cabinet makers love the crisp, splinter-free results on doors, hinges, and decorative work, replacing messy holes with clean, accurate, repeatable recesses every time. Sharp and durable, this set perfects boring, but shaping detailed curves and figures by hand really needs a proper wood carving kit. Number 4. KERNOWO Wood Carving Kit. Dreaming of carving spoons, figures, and reliefs, but stuck with dull blades that crush fibers and ruin every promising project? This carving kit changes that. Razor-sharp gouges and knives slice clean, controlled curves, and fine details across the grain, letting beginners and pros shape wood smoothly and confidently. Hobby carvers love how the keen edges hold up through long sessions, turning rough blocks into detailed, beautiful, genuinely satisfying handmade creations. Sharp and complete, this kit inspires creativity, yet marking crisp, permanent layout lines first really needs a precise, dedicated scribing tool. Number 5. Profiler plus scribing tool. Battling uneven walls and floors that leave ugly gaps when you fit trim and panels against them by guesswork? This scribing tool copies them. It traces any contour or surface precisely, transferring the shape onto your board, so cuts hug crooked walls and floors absolutely perfectly. Trim carpenters love scribing baseboards and panels to wavy surfaces without the endless, maddening trial and error fitting they use to dread on every job. Precise and clever, this tool impresses clients, but cleaning out mortises and paring joints crisply really needs a sharp wood chisel set. Number 6. ENERTWIST Wood Chisel Set. Tired of dull chisels that tear and slip instead of slicing clean, crisp joints and smooth mortises every time? This sharp set fixes that. Sharp, well-balanced blades pair, chop, and clean joinery precisely, handling mortises, tenons, and detail work with the control fine woodworking truly demands. Woodworkers love how these hold a keen edge through tough hardwoods, making dovetails and mortises fit together snugly like a tailored glove. Sharp and reliable, this set anchors any bench, yet installing concealed cabinet hinges accurately really needs a dedicated hinge jig. Number 7. Adoles Concealed Hinge Jig. Struggling to bore perfectly placed cup holes for concealed cabinet hinges that line up and swing straight every single time? This hinge jig nails it. A self-centering guide positions and drill drills hinge holes precisely, ensuring doors hang level, swing smoothly, and align consistently across an entire set of cabinets. Kitchen builders love how it removes guesswork from hinge work, banging out matching doors fast without measuring, marking, and remeasuring each one endlessly. Accurate and time-saving, this jig perfects cabinets, but marking dead square layout lines first really needs a dependable adjustable T-square. Number 8. OKcedier Adjustable T-Square. Frustrated by crooked, wandering layout lines because freehand marking never stays truly square across a wide board? This T-square fixes that. It hooks firmly onto the edge and slides to mark perfectly perpendicular, accurate lines every time, with adjustable settings for repeatable measurements and angles. Layout fans love the crisp, reliable squareness it brings, marking clean-cut lines across plywood and panels without ever second-guessing a shaky pencil. Number 9. Dowel Jig Kit. Tired of misaligned dowel holes that leave panels refusing to sit flush no matter how hard you clamp during glue-ups? This jig fixes that. It self-centers on any board thickness, drilling matched, evenly spaced holes that line up flawlessly so joints pull tight, strong, and perfectly seamless. Furniture builders love how it removes the measuring step entirely, making strong, invisible dowel joinery feel genuinely easy even on a first project. Precise and beginner-friendly, this kit strengthens joints, but securing picture frames and glass tightly really needs a dedicated framing point driver. Number 10. Fletcher FrameMaster Point. Struggling to secure backing and artwork into picture frames without bending nails, cracking molding, or making a frustrating mess? This point driver solves it. It drives flexible and rigid points smoothly into frame rabbets, holding backing and glass firmly so your framed pieces stay tight, neat, and secure. Framers love the fast, consistent results, finishing dozens of frames quickly with clean, professional fastening instead of fighting stubborn brads and slippery hammers. Efficient and reliable, this driver perfects framing, yet holding glass panes securely in place really needs the right Glazier points. Number 11. YullSorom Glazier Point. Battling loose glass panes that rattle, shift, and refuse to stay seated in window frames during assembly? These Glazier points lock them in. Small metal points press firmly into the frame, holding glass securely before glazing or trim, keeping panes flat, steady, and rattle-free for good. Builders and restorers love how they simplify window and cabinet glass work, replacing fiddly improvising with a quick, clean, dependable, time-tested fastening method. Small and essential, these points secure glass, but dialing in exact tool heights really needs a precise machined setup gauge. Number 12. MICROJIG Setup Gauge. Wasting good scrap on endless test cuts because you keep eyeballing your blade and bit heights instead of measuring? This setup gauge ends that. Precisely machined reference steps let you set saws, routers, and tools to exact heights in seconds, nailing perfect, repeatable settings every single time. Precision lovers swear by it for fast, foolproof setup, killing guesswork and saving the material wasted dialing in, cuts the slow, frustrating way. Accurate and quick, this gauge perfects settings, yet flattening wide slabs and rough boards really needs a dedicated router sled. Number 13. SpeTool Router Sled. Stuck with warped, uneven slabs you cannot flatten because you have no planer big enough for those wide boards? This router sled fixes that. A sturdy sled guides your router smoothly across slabs, leveling high spots and flattening surfaces evenly for tabletops and live-edge projects without expensive machinery. Slab woodworkers love how it tames cup, twisted boards affordably, turning rough lumber into flat, finish-ready surfaces right on their own bench. Clever and capable, this sled flattens slabs, but marking accurate lines on rough stock really needs a quality Carpenter pencil set. Number 14. Nicpro Carpenter Pencil Set. Tired of round pencils that roll off the bench, snap constantly, and leave faint marks on rough lumber? This sturdy set fixes that. Flat, sturdy Carpenter pencils mark boldly on wood, metal, and stone, staying put on the bench while resisting breakage during heavy daily layout work. Builders love the dark, visible lines and included sharpener, marking cuts clearly on dusty, rough surfaces where ordinary pencils fade and disappear fast. Cheap and dependable, this set improves every layout, yet holding small parts firmly while gluing really needs handy little clamp pals. Number 15. Woodpeckers Clamp Pals. Struggling to hold small parts steady during glue-ups because your big clamps are clumsy and your hands simply run out fast? These clamp pals help. Compact, strong little clamps grip small workpieces firmly, holding joints and parts steady while glue sets without crushing delicate stock or slipping loose. Woodworkers love how they free up hands during fiddly assemblies, keeping tiny components perfectly positioned where bulky clamps could never comfortably reach. Small and mighty, these clamps simplify assembly, but smoothing surfaces fast and swirl-free really needs a quality random orbital sander. Number 16. PANDAX Orbital Sander. Tired of hand sanding for hours and still finding swirl marks, uneven spots, and an aching arm when you finally finish? This orbital sander fixes that. Random orbital action smooths surfaces fast and swirl-free, prepping wood evenly for stain and finish while sparing your arms from exhausting manual sanding. Furniture makers love its strong dust collection and balanced feel, restoring tabletops and cabinets to silky smooth perfection in a fraction of the time. Smooth and efficient, this sander upgrades finishing, yet keeping fingers safe near the table saw blade really needs a featherboard. Number 17. POWERTEC Featherboard Safety. Nervous about kickback and slipping stock while feeding boards past a spinning table saw or router bit? This featherboard keeps everything safe and steady. Flexible fingers press your workpiece firmly against the fence and table, preventing dangerous kickback while guiding boards smoothly for cleaner, safer, more accurate cuts. Woodworkers love the added control and peace of mind, keeping hands far from blades while stock stays perfectly aligned through every single pass. Safe and simple, this featherboard protects you, but cutting through nails and tough materials really needs a strong reciprocating blade. Number 18. WORKPRO Reciprocating Blade. Frustrated when dull blades bind, burn, and quit halfway through cutting nail-embedded wood, pipe, or demolition material? These reciprocating blades power through. Tough, sharp teeth slice cleanly through wood, metal, and nails, surviving heavy demolition and pruning where flimsy blades dull, bend, and fail fast. Remodelers love how they tear through tough materials reliably, finishing demolition and rough cutting quickly without stopping constantly to swap worn-out, useless blades. Durable and aggressive, these blades handle tough jobs, yet measuring precise angles for miters really needs a digital angle finder. Number 19. Neotech Digital Angle Finder. Guessing miter and bevel angles by eye and ending up with ugly gaps at every corner of your molding? This finder reads them exactly. A clear digital display measures and transfers any angle precisely, letting you set saws and fit joints perfectly without endless wasteful test cuts. Trim carpenters love nailing tight, seamless corners on molding and frames, replacing frustrating guesswork with instant, accurate, repeatable angle readings every single time. Accurate and easy, this finder perfects angles, but supporting long boards safely while cutting really needs sturdy folding sawhorses. Number 20. Zyjoy Folding Sawhorses. Tired of balancing long boards on shaky chairs and buckets because you have no stable surface to cut on? These sawhorses fix that. Sturdy, foldable supports hold heavy lumber and sheet goods steadily for cutting and assembly, then collapse flat to save precious space when finished. Builders love the rock-solid support and quick setup, creating a safe, stable work surface anywhere without lugging around heavy, permanent, bulky workbenches. Strong and portable, these horses anchor any job, yet carving fine detail and lettering really needs a precise wood carving set. Number 21. HPHOPE Wood Carving Set. Struggling to carve clean details because cheap, dull tools skip, slip, and tear the wood every frustrating time? This carving set delivers control. Razor-sharp, well-balanced gouges and knives slice precise curves, letters, and reliefs cleanly across soft and hard woods, giving carvers genuine confidence and accuracy. Carvers love how the keen edges last through long sessions, shaping spoons, signs, and figures smoothly without constant frustrating resharpening or chipping. Sharp and precise, this set inspires detail work, but guiding narrow rips safely past the blade really needs a solid push block. Number 22. MICROJIG or an GRR-RIPPER push block. Nervous about pushing narrow stock past a spinning blade with your bare hands inches from serious, life-changing injury? This push block keeps fingers safely away. Adjustable grips hold workpieces firmly while guiding them smoothly through the cut, controlling narrow rips precisely while keeping your hands far from the blade. Woodworkers love the confident control and safety it adds, ripping thin strips cleanly and consistently without the white-knuckle fear bare-handed feeding causes. Safe and precise, this push block protects you, yet clamping cabinet panels square during assembly really needs a dedicated cabinet clamp set. Number 23. ECY Cabinet Clamps Set. Watching cabinet panels drift out of square while your glue sets because you have no proper clamps holding them? This set locks them tight. Strong clamps grip panels and frames squarely, holding everything aligned and steady while glue cures, so your cabinets come out true and rock solid. Cabinet makers love how they guarantee square, gap-free assembly, replacing frustrating drift and slippage with confident, precise, perfectly aligned glue-ups every single time. Strong and reliable, this set perfects cabinets, but clamping odd, curved shapes really needs a flexible wraparound band clamp instead. Number 24. Pony Jorgensen Band Clamp. Struggling to clamp irregular, round, or multi-sided projects that ordinary bar clamps cannot wrap around and hold tight? This band clamp solves it. A strong, flexible band wraps fully around frames, chairs, and odd shapes, applying even pressure all the way around for tight, seamless, gap-free joints. Woodworkers love how it tackles picture frames, stools, and curved assemblies confidently, holding awkward shapes that defeat every other clamp in the shop. Flexible and strong, this clamp handles odd shapes, yet cutting precise thin strips safely really needs a dedicated thin rip jig. Number 25. Saker Thin Rip Jig. Tired of dangerous, inconsistent thin strips that pinch, kick back, or vary in width on the table saw? This jig fixes that. It sets a consistent thin strip width on the outfeed side, letting you rip identical strips safely and repeatably without trapping stock against the blade. Woodworkers love the uniform, splinter-free strips it produces, making edge banding and trim quickly without the danger and waste-free hand ripping always brings. Safe and consistent, this jig perfects thin rips, but making flush, fine cuts against surfaces really needs a Japanese flush saw. Number 26. Temple Japanese Flush Saw. Frustrated trying to trim dowels and plugs flush without scratching the surrounding surface because your saw teeth gouge everything? This flush saw fixes that. A flexible, fine-toothed blade cuts on the pull stroke flush against surfaces, trimming dowels and plugs cleanly without marring the wood around them. Woodworkers love the smooth, precise flush cuts it makes, finishing joinery details perfectly where bulky saws would damage the surrounding, carefully finished surface. Sharp and precise, this saw perfects flush cuts, yet clamping longboards edge to edge really needs a strong pipe clamp. Number 27. Pony Pro Pipe Clamp. Struggling to glue up wide panels because your clamps are too short and weak to pull longboards tight together? This pipe clamp fixes that. Mounted on standard pipe, it delivers strong, adjustable clamping pressure across any length, pulling wide panels and longboards tight, flat, and perfectly seamless. Panel builders love the serious holding power and flexible length, gluing up tabletops and doors with even pressure that closes every joint completely. Powerful and adaptable, this clamp handles big glue-ups, but checking that corners are truly square really needs a precision square. Number 28. OKcedier's Precision Square. Tired of joints and panels that look off because your old square is no longer truly accurate? This precision square fixes every measurement. Machined to exact tolerances, it checks 90-degree corners and marks dead square lines reliably, giving you trustworthy accuracy for layout, assembly, and final inspection. Woodworkers love the dependable squareness it guarantees, verifying joints and cuts confidently so projects assemble assemble true, tight, and visibly professional every single time. Accurate and durable, this square anchors layout, yet marking and squaring on the go really needs a handy folding T-square. Number 29. Preciva Folding T-Square. Annoyed by bulky squares that never fit your pocket when you need a quick, accurate mark on site? This folding square fixes that. It folds compact for easy carrying, then opens to mark perfectly square, accurate lines fast, combining portability with the reliable precision layout work demands. Carpenters love grabbing it instantly for quick checks and marks, slipping it into a pocket without sacrificing the squareness their projects truly need. Portable and precise, this square travels easily, but holding corners square during assembly really needs a set of dedicated corner clamps. Number 30. Go Fast Corner Clamps. Watching box and frame corners drift apart while gluing solo because your hands cannot hold every joint square? These corner clamps fix that. They lock each joint at a perfect 90 degrees, holding frames and boxes square and steady while glue sets without slipping or shifting. Woodworkers love finally assembling drawers, frames, and boxes without a third hand, getting tight square corners every single time without endless frustrating cursing. Square and reliable, these clamps simplify assembly, yet cutting, sanding, and scraping in tight spots really needs an oscillating multi-tool. Number 31. Inventor Oscillating Multi. Stuck reaching cramped corners where bulky saws and sanders simply cannot fit or maneuver to do the job? This oscillating tool fits perfectly. Quick change blades let it cut, sand, scrape, and trim precisely in tight spaces, handling flooring, trim, and detail work no single big tool could. Remodelers love its nimble versatility, tackling plunge cuts, grout, and corner sanding without grabbing 5 separate machines off the cluttered, crowded shelf. Versatile and compact, this tool reaches anywhere, but holding CNC and project corners square really needs a dedicated corner clamp. Number 32. Ecarque CNC Corner Clamp. Frustrated when project and jig corners shift out of square because nothing holds them firmly at a right angle? This corner clamp fixes that. It grips 2 pieces at a precise 90 degrees, holding corners rock solid for gluing, screwing, and CNC fixturing without any slipping or drifting. Makers love the dependable squareness it locks in, assembling frames, jigs, and fixtures confidently with corners that stay perfectly true every single time. Precise and strong, this clamp perfects corners, yet seating screws perfectly flush really needs a quality 2-in-1 countersink drill set. Number 33. Acrobex Countersink Drill Set. Tired of screw heads sticking up proud and snagging, scratching, and ruining the clean finish you worked hard to achieve? This countersink set fixes that. It drills the pilot hole and recess together in one pass, seating every screw perfectly flush for a clean, professional, snag-free finished surface. Builders love the fast, consistent results on decks and furniture, doubling their speed while making every fastened joint look genuinely polished and professional. Flush and efficient, this set perfects fastening, but keeping screws and bits handy while working really needs a magnetic wristband. Number 34. Rack Magnetic Wristband. Constantly dropping and losing screws, nails, and small bits while working up a ladder or across the shop floor? This magnetic wristband holds them all. Strong embedded magnets grip screws, nails, and tiny metal parts securely on your wrist, keeping them within instant reach and off the cluttered floor. DIYers love the hands-free convenience, fastening fixtures and hardware quickly without juggling, fumbling, or chasing dropped screws rolling under benches and machines. Handy and clever, this wristband speeds any job, yet drilling angled pocket holes really needs a dedicated pocket hole jig. Number 35. Matework Pocket Hole Jig. Tired of split edges and ugly visible screws ruining your shelves and cabinets because plain screws never join cleanly? This pocket hole jig fixes that. It drills clean angled holes that pull joints rock solid tight while completely hiding the hardware, giving you strong, seamless, professional-looking connections every single time. Beginners credit it for finally letting them build sturdy furniture without ugly exposed screws, raising the quality of everything they assemble instantly. Strong and beginner-friendly, this jig hides joints, but reading exact measurements quickly really needs a precise, dependable digital vernier caliper. Number 36. KERNOWO Digital Caliper. Squinting at faded tape markings and getting measurements just wrong enough to wreck a tight, careful fit? This digital caliper fixes that. A bright digital display shows exact inside, outside, and depth dimensions instantly, switching between inches and millimeters for fast, foolproof, dependable measuring accuracy. Makers love the pinpoint precision and quick zero function, ending all that squinting at tiny tick marks while nailing every measurement confidently. Accurate and easy, this caliper perfects measuring, yet scribing consistent layout lines really needs a dedicated wheel-style marking gauge tool. Number 37. YullSorom Wheel Marking Gauge. Frustrated by fuzzy pencil lines that wander and blur, throwing off the precise joinery layouts your dovetails depend on? This marking gauge fixes that. A sharp cutting wheel scribes thin, crisp, consistent lines parallel to any edge, giving you flawless, repeatable layout accuracy that never smears or fades. Joinery fans love how clean scribed lines guide their saws and chisels precisely, making tight professional fitting joints far easier to cut accurately. Precise and reliable, this gauge perfects layout, but smoothing finished surfaces fast really needs a dependable, swirl-free random orbital sander. Number 38. Dick Orbital Sander. Tired of swirl marks and uneven spots showing under your stain because hand sanding never gets surfaces smooth enough? This orbital sander fixes that. Random orbital motion smooths surfaces evenly and swirl-free, prepping wood perfectly for finish, while strong dust collection keeps your bench and lungs cleaner. Furniture makers love its balanced feel and fast results, restoring tabletops and cabinets to silky smoothness in a fraction of the manual time. Smooth and efficient, this sander upgrades finishing, yet copying tricky profiles and contours really needs a handy pin-style contour gauge. Number 39. Saker Contour Gauge. Struggling to fit flooring and trim around pipes and irregular shapes because measuring those weird contours never works out? This gauge copies them instantly. Movable pins press against any shape to capture its exact profile, transferring complex contours onto your stock for perfect, gap-free cuts every time. Installers love how it nails tricky cuts around pipes and trim quickly, replacing frustrating trial and error, fitting with one fast, accurate, satisfying contour copy. Clever and precise, this gauge simplifies tricky fits, but smoothing rough boards by hand really needs a quality hand planer. Number 40. YullSorom Hand Planer. Tired of rough, uneven board surfaces and stubborn high spots you cannot smooth without dragging out heavy, expensive powered machinery? This hand planer fixes that. A sharp, adjustable blade shaves thin, controlled curls to flatten, smooth, and fit boards precisely, giving you clean surfaces and tight, accurate joints. Woodworkers love the quiet, satisfying control it offers, trimming doors and smoothing edges exactly to fit without noise, dust, or bulky power tools. Sharp and precise, this planer smooths surfaces, yet clamping wide panels perfectly flat. Number 41. Rockler Parallel Clamp. Watching wide glue-ups bow and slip out of flat because your clamps twist and apply uneven pressure across the panel? These parallel clamps fix that. Wide parallel jaws apply even, square pressure across the whole joint, keeping panels flat and aligned while glue cures for seamless, perfectly level results. Panel builders love the flat, gap-free glue-ups they guarantee, replacing twisted, bowed assemblies with confident, square, professional-looking tabletops and doors every single time. Strong and flat, these clamps perfect panels, but holding two pieces square together really needs a dedicated right-angle clamp. Number 42. Hickorer Right Angle Clamp. Struggling to hold two boards at a perfect right angle while drilling because they keep shifting and ruining the joint? This angle clamp fixes that. It locks pieces firmly at 90 degrees, holding corners steady for drilling, screwing, and gluing, so your joints joints stay square, tight, and perfectly aligned. Woodworkers love the steady, hands-free control it provides, assembling frames and boxes confidently with corners that stay true through the entire build. Precise and reliable, this clamp squares corners, yet drilling angled pocket holes accurately really needs a trusted pocket hole jig. Number 43. Kreg Pocket Hole Jig. Tired of weak joints and ugly visible screws making your handmade furniture look amateur, however carefully you build? This pocket hole jig fixes that. It drills clean, accurate angled holes that pull joints rock solid tight while completely hiding every fastener, giving you strong, seamless, professional connections. Shelf and cabinet builders love the clean, screw-free look it delivers, instantly raising the quality and strength of everything they assemble in the shop. Strong and trusted, this jig hides joints, but rounding sharp corners cleanly really needs a multi-size corner radius routing template. Number 44. Draxor Corner Radius. Frustrated by sharp, uneven project corners that look unfinished because rounding them by eye never comes out consistent? This radius template fixes that. Multiple radius guides let you mark and route smooth, uniform rounded corners every time, giving tabletops, shelves, and signs a clean, finished, professional edge. Woodworkers love the consistent, repeatable curves it produces, replacing rough, mismatched corners with smooth, polished radiuses across every project they build. Simple and precise, this template perfects corners, yet measuring tricky multi-angle layouts really needs a versatile, adjustable multi-angle square. Number 45. ArtiMaster Multi-Angle Square. Tired of grabbing 5 different tools to measure all the angles a single complex project throws at you? This multi-angle square does it all. An adjustable, multi-function design measures, marks, and transfers angles, levels, and squares in one tool, handling layout tasks that usually demand a whole drawer. Builders love its all-in-one versatility, marking miters, levels, and squares confidently without constantly switching between separate, scattered, easily misplaced layout instruments. Versatile and handy, this square simplifies layout, but setting exact saw cut depth really needs a dedicated saw depth gauge. Number 46. Toolcool Saw Depth Gauge. Struggling to set your blade or router bit to an exact depth because eyeballing leaves cuts too shallow or deep? This gauge fixes that. It measures and sets precise blade and bit depths quickly, ensuring consistent, accurate cuts for dados, grooves, and joinery without wasteful trial and error testing. Woodworkers love the repeatable accuracy it brings to every setup, nailing perfect cut depths instantly instead of guessing and ruining good stock. Accurate and quick, this gauge perfects depth, yet boring matched door hinge mortises really needs a dedicated door hinge jig. Number 47. SpeTool Door Hinge Jig. Tired of crooked, mismatched door hinges that leave doors sagging because cutting mortises by hand never lines up? This hinge jig fixes that. It guides your router to cut perfectly placed, consistent hinge mortises every time, ensuring doors hang straight, swing smoothly, and align across the whole set. Carpenters love how it banishes guesswork from hinge work, hanging doors fast and accurately without endless measuring, chiseling, and frustrating fitting adjustments. Accurate and time-saving, this jig perfects doors, but holding corners square during assembly really needs a dedicated corner clamp set. Number 48. YullSorom Corner Clamp Set. Watching frame and box corners drift apart while gluing solo because your hands cannot hold every joint square? This clamp set fixes that. Strong clamps lock each corner at a perfect 90 degrees, holding boxes and frames square and steady while glue sets without slipping or shifting. Woodworkers love assembling drawers, frames, and cabinets without a third hand, getting tight, square corners consistently without the endless frustration and cursing. Square and dependable, this set simplifies assembly, yet marking long, accurate reference lines really needs a precise machined edge rule. Number 49. Woodpeckers Edge Rule. Frustrated by flimsy rulers that flex and slip when you need a long, dead, straight reference line across a wide board? This edge rule fixes that. A rigid, precisely machined edge marks and measures long, straight lines accurately, serving as a trustworthy reference for layout, cutting, and aligning large workpieces. Woodworkers love the rock-solid straightness and clear markings, laying out cuts and checking flatness confidently without the wobble cheap rulers always introduce. Precise and durable, this rule perfects layout, but keeping chisels and blades razor sharp really needs a quality sharpening stone kit. Number 50. OKcedier Sharpening Stone Kit. Tired of dull chisels and plain blades that tear wood because you have no good way to restore their edges? This sharpening kit fixes that. Multiple grit stones grind and polish blades to a razor edge, restoring chisels, knives, and plane irons so they slice cleanly through wood again. Woodworkers love how sharp tools transform their work, making carving, paring, and planing smooth and effortless instead of frustrating, fiber-crushing struggles every time. Essential and effective, this kit revives edges, yet cleaning out mortises crisply really needs a sharp, dependable wood chisel set. Number 51. WORKPRO Wood Chisel Set. Frustrated by cheap chisels that lose their edge instantly and crush instead of slice, ruining every mortise you cut? This chisel set fixes that. Sharp, durable, well-balanced blades pare, chop, and clean joinery precisely, holding their keen edge through tough hardwoods for crisp mortises, tenons, and detail work. Woodworkers love the control and lasting sharpness, cutting dovetails and mortises that fit together snugly and cleanly like a perfectly tailored glove. Sharp and reliable, this set anchors any bench, but trimming edge banding flush really needs a dedicated edge band trimmer. Number 52. Jigsaw Edge Band Trimmer. Tired of ragged, overhanging edge banding that catches, lifts, and peels because trimming with a knife never comes out flush? This trimmer fixes that. It shaves overhanging banding perfectly flush in one smooth pass, giving plywood edges a clean, seamless, factory-quality finish that looks like solid hardwood. Cabinet builders love how it instantly upgrades ordinary plywood edges, making every shelf and panel look professionally finished without expensive solid wood. Clean and efficient, this trimmer perfects edges, yet final hand sanding into corners really needs a comfortable, ergonomic hand sanding block. Number 53. Vibratite Hand Sanding Block. Tired of uneven, finger-grooved sanding because pressing paper with your bare hand never smooths surfaces flat and consistent? This sanding block fixes that. A comfortable, ergonomic block holds sandpaper firmly and flat, distributing pressure evenly for smooth, consistent surfaces and crisp edges without tiring your hand. Woodworkers love the control and even finish it delivers, sanding flat surfaces and corners precisely where bulky power sanders simply cannot reach. Simple and effective, this block perfects finishing, but marking clear, bold cut lines really needs a quality Carpenter pencil set. Number 54. Staggeek Carpenter Pencil Set. Frustrated by round pencils that roll away, snap constantly, and leave faint marks on rough, dusty lumber? This Carpenter pencil set fixes that. Flat, sturdy pencils mark boldly on wood, metal, and stone, staying put on the bench while resisting breakage during heavy daily layout and marking work. Builders love the dark, highly visible lines and included sharpener, marking cuts clearly on rough surfaces where ordinary pencils fade, smear, and disappear. Cheap and dependable, this set improves every layout, yet installing cabinet hardware accurately really needs a dedicated, adjustable hardware jig. Number 55. Retool Cabinet Hardware Jig. Tired of crooked, uneven cabinet handles because lining up hardware holes by eye never comes out straight across the doors? This jig fixes that. An adjustable template positions and drills handle and knob holes precisely, ensuring every pull and knob lines up perfectly straight and even across the set. Kitchen renovators love how it speeds up hardware installation, banging out matching doors and drawers fast without measuring, marking, and remeasuring each one endlessly. Before you upgrade your workshop, check out these 55 coolest woodworking tools on Amazon. Which tool would you add to your workshop first? Comment below, like this video, subscribe, and share it with a woodworking lover.